Okay, it's my first live streaming session. I'm not really sure what I'm doing, so I apologize in advance. This is not the best live stream you've ever seen. So, right now, I'm just gonna stream what I'm working on. I'm a front end developer, and right now, I'm trying to get load times down for this website, franciscan.edu. So the load times are not great. I think, yeah, you could see here throttling the network to a regular 3G. Uh, we get a total load time of 46 seconds, and that's actually down 42% from what it was 2 weeks ago. So we've already done some work. So just to catch you up, we've used ImageMagick to compress all the images on the homepage. And there were quite a lot of images, so we did remove some of them. So there used to be some images here and a bunch of little thumbnails. And they had been uploaded in a really large format. So even though they were displaying as thumbnails, they were actually huge. So we just removed that. It's so far down the page, I don't think very many people are looking at it anyway. So we did get rid of those images. There were some images on the page that were saved as pings and really shouldn't have been. I can't remember. I think it was these. I think the video thumbnails. I think these video thumbnails I think were mostly pings. So we converted those to JPEG, also using ImageMagick, and then compressed them. And that dropped the file size by a lot. That alone brought the load times down by I think 39%. And then the other little bit of percentage that we dropped to get it down to the 42 that it's at now was just from concatenating and minifying as much of the JavaScript and CSS as we could. So a lot of it was in just a ton of little files, and most of it wasn't minified. So we just combined all that. So as you can see, we're still loading a lot. Let's give it a refresh so you can just kind of see how everything loads. Like I said, I'm doing it in 3G, partly just to inflict the pain that my users feel on myself. Also because this is slow enough that I can watch what's loading on the page first. So you can see, part of the page actually loads pretty quickly for this site. So that total load time is kind of misleading because the page appears to be pretty much loaded at this point, even though it's not completely loaded. But you still see the spinner here. So let's see. Oh, this is going to be a longer one. Ooh, 51 seconds. Okay, so we do get a range. Right now I'm getting like anywhere from 46 to 52. But my average is, I think, the upper 40s right now. The original load time 2 weeks ago was 84 seconds. So we've come pretty far. You see it's transferring 4.2 megabytes. Originally it was 13.6 megabytes were being transferred with every load, which is just crazy. So yeah, you can see there's a lot of files. So 119 resources being loaded here. So I'm gonna try to live stream as much of this as I can over the next few days or weeks, however long it takes. And the plan is to get rid of as many files as possible. I expect that a lot of these files we can just get rid of and it won't even affect the page. I think they're just loading everything. So just a little bit more about the site. It runs on a content management system called Ektron. So Ektron's not really well known. I had never heard of any other sites running on it until I started working with this site. I'm not super familiar with it. It runs on .NET framework, so we can actually, I can show you some of the code. Let me get it open. Okay, so you should be able to see the code now. I'm not sure how that font size looks for you guys. I mean, right now nobody's watching this live, but later on, if you see this recorded, you can comment and let me know if I need to increase the font size. But this is the site. These are all the files plus some extra stuff that's just on the server. But most of the site of the files that we're gonna edit are these template files. So it's in the templates folder, but they actually call them wireframes. So let's get rid of this. I'm not going to use this. I'm using Visual Studio Code for this. Normally I use Atom as my editor, but Visual Studio Code did a better job with the C# and ASPX files. So I just went with this instead of trying to find the plugins for Atom. And it's actually pretty nice. You can set the shortcuts to use all the Atom shortcuts, so it's really easy to switch over. So you can see each wireframe, and I'm kind of learning as I go here, so don't take this as fact, but what seems like it is going on here is each wireframe has two files: your .aspx file that I have here on the right, and then the .cs file on the left. So both of these files together comprise the template, I guess. And then on the actual admin panel for the Ektron CMS, you can assign a template to different pages. And I'm not really going to mess with that too much. There's some other people that are going to be working on that. So when I get to the point where I need something, I'll just let them know. But I'm going to worry about this code. So these are actually the templates for the home page of the site. So it's not the whole thing. There is a master template file. So this is probably the other thing that we're going to edit. Okay, so the syntax highlighting isn't working, probably because the extension is .master. But this file contains the head tag and part of the body tag for the entire site for every page. So what I think we're going to have to do, and I started this last week, is I made copies of the home page wireframes of both files. So it's this test home wireframe files. And I'm going to make a copy of this main master, and probably I'm going to need to make a copy of the main master.cs. So I think there are going to be some minor edits that I need to make just to reflect the new file names. But what should happen is that it shouldn't affect anything on the site right now, because this site is live. There's actually there's a backup version of the site, but the live site and the backup site pull from the same files. So I'm not really sure what was intended with the backup version, but this is why we're going to make copies of everything, because we're going to make a parallel version of the home page to work on, so that we can really get it slimmed down and get it running quickly without making the homepage crash. So otherwise, I mean, normally you would want a local copy to work on and then a staging environment, okay? But we just don't have that right now. So hopefully I can copy these over, get a complete copy of the homepage, and do whatever we need to without messing up anything else. And then if we get it where we want it, which might actually include a redesign, hopefully, then I can just have somebody go into that test page in the admin panel and just assign the homepage URL to that template. Everything should just switch over. There'll be no downtime, and users will be directed to the new homepage that we're going to make. So if that works, it should be great. I know this site gets a ton of traffic. I guess for me, most of the sites I work on are smaller, one-page sites. We get views in the thousands. This site gets views in the millions. So any little improvement we can make is going to have a large impact. And the goal here, especially, is to have more prospective students be able to get information, maybe click through and fill out our inquiry form, or even apply. Okay, so I'm going to get to it. I'm going to try to narrate as I go, but I'm not used to narrating while I code, so it might get a little boring. Let me know, I guess, in the comments if I talk too much or too little. So I'm going to be quiet now because I have to focus and read through this a little bit to see what needs changed. Before I start, I'm going to start my timer. Okay, so you'll see this. I use a Pomodoro timer. For all my sessions, I break everything up into 25-minute sessions with 5-minute breaks. So I guess every time I have a break, I can kind of go over what we've done in that session. I keep track of everything with, I guess I'll show you. We'll slide over here. Keep a Trello board. I have it set up like a Kanban board. And I keep track of how many Pomodoro sessions everything takes. So if you're interested in this, I can go over how I set all this up. But for now, we are on this task. We've already spent 2 sessions on it. I've estimated that it's going to take 8 in total. So hopefully we can do this on schedule. Okay, so I just made a copy of this, and now there we go. I'm looking for the master pages folder. So this was the main.master, so I'm just going to name it main test.master and save it in that same folder. Okay, Let's refresh this just to make sure we haven't broken anything. I'll be trying to remember to do this frequently. Okay, it looks like it's loading, so we're good. I'm going to do the same thing with the main.master.cs. You hear that bell in the background? That's the bell we do a prayer at 3 o'clock, a Divine Mercy prayer. This is a Catholic University, so if you hear that bell in the background, it's 3 o'clock. Okay, so we have our copies. That's awesome. Alright, I'm going to clean things up a bit. You see, I'm using Git to track this, and I have a repo on GitHub. It's a private repo for right now. I may be able to set it to public. I don't think there's anything in there that needs to be private. If I get a lot of people interested, then maybe I'll make it public. But I'm currently ignoring a ton of stuff because there's like well over 100 gigs in this directory. So I couldn't put that all on GitHub. So if we need to use something in one of these files and track it, we'll just remove it from our git ignore. But for right now, the git flow of saving is going to look a little weird because there's all kind of files that aren't tracked. Yeah. Save the changes. Not sure what changes I made. Let's just not save. Okay. I don't think I need this. I think I have the same thing on both. Okay, these are just some of the commands I used with ImageMagick. So I'll just get rid of one of them. And we'll leave these up for now, just if we need to compare. Okay. So the next step is going to be reading through these. I shouldn't need to read through all of it, just the top, to see if these two files mention each other by name, and then if they do, we need to change the name. So I can already see at the top here of what's now main test.master. It is referencing it says code file equals main.master.cs. So I don't know if I said this already, but I'm really not that familiar with C# or .NET Framework. So I mean, this looks a lot like, I don't know, PHP, like WordPress templates, which I am more familiar with. And I've seen some stuff like this before so from other programmers who do work with C#. So if anybody watching this knows more about this than I do, please let me know if I'm missing something obvious or doing something wrong. But hopefully most of the edits I make will be to the HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and I won't have to mess with any C#. Okay, so this is pretty straightforward. We'll just change the name. So main test master. I'm not sure what this inherits is. Master pages underscore main. I don't really know where that is or what that is, so I'm just going to leave it for now. Let's see. Looks like this is referencing some other files, social icons. We'll probably look at these later on, and we may need to make copies of these too. But for now, we're not going to worry about them. And I think it's good for this file. I'm going to go ahead and save that. And let's look in this CS file. Okay, this is interesting. It looks like it's checking to see if this is the home page, and it adds a class and sets the alert to false. Okay, so there is a section on the home page for an alert in case of an emergency. So we're going to have to keep that in mind. So whatever we end up setting the test page URL to, we'll probably have to come back in and change that here. Because remember, we wanted this test page to be exactly like the home page right now. So we want that home page class to be there. So for now, I'm not going to do anything with it because I don't know for sure what the ID will be. I think it's just going to end up being test, but I don't know if there's another page that already has it. So, okay. So it looks like I don't actually need to change anything in here. Good. Okay, so I'm going to switch over. Okay, I'm going to switch over, and I'm using iTerm. It might be iTerm 2. They might have iTerm 3 out now. I'm not sure. But I'm using iTerm as my editor. I used to have like some custom colors here. It's nice to help keep track of Git repos, and the little asterisk here lets me know that I have changes that need saved. So I know Visual Studio has its own terminal there, but I'm used to using this one, and I prefer this one, and I like to have the space in my code editor for code. So that's why I'm keeping them separate. Okay, so I'm going to check. Oh, okay. I'm working on a network drive now, so if I forget, let's try this. Every day when I come in, I need to reconnect to the network drive, and then when I log back in my terminal, I need to actually get out of the current folder and then go back into it. It doesn't work, so that's why I got that fatal error. Seems really serious when they say it's fatal. Okay, so you see here's all my files that show up. So I don't want them to be completely gone because we may add them in later. So that's why they're all still there. So page wireframe. Okay, so I must have modified this and not committed it at some point. I think I also want this to be in there. and then here's our master page, our new ones. So we're gonna add those. Master pages, main.test.master. Okay, now we want CS, and what did I wanted that get ignore file, didn't I? Okay, and then the last one was in the templates folder, right? Templates. Nope, that's not where it was. Let's just scroll up here and see what it was. Oh, it wasn't backup. I don't know what I modified in that. Let's check it out, see if we can figure it out. I don't know why I would even be in that folder. Oh, I know. For some reason, I made an edit to this to this file, and then couldn't figure out why it didn't work because this is the backup file. Okay, so I clicked that file on accident, and that was I did that last week. Okay, so we'll just add it, and I don't even remember what the change was, but we'll add it. This was just the SPX. Yep. Okay. All right. Good. I'm able to create. Uh-oh. What is going on? Shoot. Alright, let's just... I don't really know what the problem is here. So... I'm just gonna... First I'm gonna make sure I copy this so I don't have to type it again. Now I'm gonna close this and just open a new window. Okay. Nope. There we go. Okay. Alright, now let's see if this will work. Nope, it's not working. That's weird. Okay, I'm not sure what's happening. I really don't want to move forward without saving. Let's see if we can bring up. The only thing I can think of is that maybe I have the terminal open here. I do. Okay. I have it open here. Alright, so let's try to. Sorry, I forgot to change my view. So I'm looking over here. I've opened the terminal in Visual Studio. because I thought maybe I had this open here, and I did. So now I'm going to close the tab in iTerm, and let's try it over here. No. Okay. Well, looks like we're gonna have to do what developers do best. I'm gonna have to look up this error and see what's happening. Okay. Let me switch over. Okay, so I think we found a site. What is this? This looks like some kind of really spammy version of Stack Overflow, but I've never seen this site before. Okay, so I'm gonna read this and try it. Hopefully this fixes our problem. Huh, okay. This is super obvious. Just delete the file that's giving the error. Let's make sure. Okay. Okay, let's try it. I guess I'm gonna switch back here since I have this open. So we need to, let's see the get folder. Okay, we do have an index lock, so we're just going to remove that file. Okay. Okay, it was not removed. Alright, let's try sudo. Okay, that worked. Alright, let's go back out here and let's try this again. Oops. Wow, this is really laggy. I think, yeah, I'm definitely switching back to iTerm because for some reason this is just super slow. Okay. which you can't see right now, but I'm closing the terminal on Visual Studio Code because for whatever reason it's just super slow. Okay, so let's make sure everything we did before worked. Okay, looks like we have the files we need. So now we can actually commit. Okay, I'm going to write a message. Create test master pages. Right, that's it. That's pretty much all we did. Okay, and okay, awesome. So I'm gonna really try to commit everything, every little step, especially since I'm working on files that are live on the live site. So I need to be able. If somebody calls and says I broke the site, and check it again. I need to be able to go back to a version that worked as quickly as possible. So I'm going to try to commit probably even more than I usually do. Okay, everything's still working. All right, and we're about to the end of this Pomodoro session. I want to check how long this is going to take. Let's see if we'll get that 46 again or if we'll be up in the 50s. 47. Okay. All right. Well, let's flip back over and we'll get ready. I need to switch. Sorry, I'm listening to Spotify, my headphones in the background, and there was a really annoying song that came on. It's just playing random songs right now, so it's distracting me. Okay, so I think the next thing that we'll need to do is edit these template pages. So let's get our test homepage wireframes. These are the ones that I already made last week. Okay. And I want to look in here because if I remember right, okay. Oh, that's my Pomodoro timer. So we're going to do a 5-minute break, but basically this is checking for a URL. Just like that, oh shoot, it's still the main master. Sorry. That's fine. What do I need? There we go. Okay, so this is checking for the URL, at least the end of it, the path name. And it's hiding or showing certain sections based on that. So it's, this seemed like a weird setup when I saw it. But these pages, academics, admissions, faith in action, are all exactly the same pages as the home page. But certain sections, basically every section of the home page is hidden except that particular section. So you can see this is academics. It hides the admission section, the faith section. It hides the hero section, the about section. So it hides a lot. So we're gonna have to make sure whatever we do, we keep this and we show the right sections. So I think when we end up editing the HTML, which is all over here, we're gonna have to put things in the sections just like this, which I'm not familiar with .NET stuff, so I'm just gonna go with whatever they're using. And this might not be .NET. This might be Electron specific. I'm not sure. So we're gonna need to put our code in sections and then make sure that we show or hide it properly so that all these pages end up working correctly. So if we do redesign the home page, it's going to end up redesigning these 3 pages too, which isn't a bad thing. We'll just have to make sure we remember that and test those as well. Okay, I think now might be a good time to take a break from the stream. So we've been on for like 40 minutes. I'd like to just watch it myself and see how it came out. See if you can hear me and actually read the font. Maybe, I don't think I'm going to stream more today. Yeah, I think I'm going to try to get out of here. My kids are off school today and it's nice out, so I'm going to try to get out of here soon. I'll probably live stream some more tomorrow. And I don't know, I might work on this a little bit more, but I'll catch you guys up if I do anything else. So nobody tuned into this live stream, which is what I expected because I didn't advertise it at all, just in case I messed it up. I didn't want anybody to see it. But if the video turns out alright, which if you're watching this it probably did, I'll put it up on YouTube and do some more live streams. So I don't know, let me know what you think in the comments. If you see this, I'm like completely new to live streaming. I've only watched a couple of live streams. I don't think I've ever actually watched live stream coding before, so maybe I should and get some tips on how to do it. But you know, I'm open to any comments. Let's try to be nice in the comments because I'm admittedly a noob to this, but I'm also open to constructive criticism as well. So anyway, that's all for today. See you guys later.